Welcome to our last training of the year. Well done for turning up. I know it's a busy time of year and everyone's got stuff to do, but you're making it work, you're making it time for yourself and to build your business and create all those choices for you guys. By the way, Liz, I love your hat. It takes the cake. It's so cool. My kids would love that. Yeah. So tonight, let me just bring out my notes because there's quite a bit to go through. So yeah, basically tonight I thought would be a really good, oh, my son, he's just going to come, my husband's out. So tonight I thought it's like a really good time to do reflection. To really do, reflection of the year. This is something I did last Wednesday and it took me around 3 hours to do, but I'm going to condense it to probably it's probably going to take 45 to 60 minutes, probably closer to the 60-minute mark. And just know that this is recorded. So if you can't stay on that whole time, don't worry. I will pass the recording on to Shauna for the girls who aren't in our team chat and pass this on to you. So, but when I did this last week, I just feel so light and I feel so clear and I feel so just aligned with what I want going forward in the future. And I think we can all just get really strung up on just life. Just literally life happens. It gets busy. No one's immune to it. Look, right now I'm just he's meant to be asleep. What are you doing? It just, things happen, but you just have to get on with it. And you need to prioritize. Prioritize what's really going to help us move towards our goals, whatever they are. So tonight you will need a pad and a pen to take notes. And, if you need to go and get one, go get one now. And also, if you can, put your phone on silent or put it away, turn it upside down. Just don't have it on you. Shut your browsers apart from this one on your laptop. Because it's only going to be 45 to 60 minutes, but you really need that time to focus in. And hopefully my husband comes and grabs some so I can focus in too. But yeah, and then it's these type of trainings that work on your inner self that actually bring out your strengths and help you identify, where you need to be more focused on. It also helps, tonight there might be some emotions that come out, and because we'll go through things. And these people saying, sorry. Yeah, but stuff like this, when you are doing massive reflection and working on your inner self, they can bring up emotions, which is, it's fine. Don't worry if that does come up, because I just know that I always feel like things are happening for you. When these things are coming up, it's really just saying, it's actually a sign that's trying to direct you to where you need to go, okay? So you might be finishing out this year on a high, or maybe you might not be quite where you want to be. He just got bored. Oh, that's boring. Or you might not be where you want to be, or something in your personal life isn't sitting right. Maybe something in your health isn't sitting right. We will all go through this tonight, but you just need to be present to properly focus in. And yeah, so tonight I really invite you to change and, let go of anything that might be holding you back and any limiting beliefs, and move into the new version of you coming into 2024, okay? So you can all start this now. And if you know me, 2024 still has a whole 2 weeks, and that is a lifetime in the book of Emily, and anything is possible. So don't think that 2023 is over. We still got 2 more weeks to actually smash out whatever you need to do in your life. Okay, so we're going to get started. Actually, I forgot to say, so I've got a notebook here. If you can have a spare piece of paper on the side, so maybe you can either just pull it out and just have it on the side, or you might have a spare piece of paper lying around. Get it out, because as we go through things tonight, something might just come up and you'll be like, oh, I feel like I really need to implement that, or that's, something might get lost in your book, but you feel like it might just, it's like the actionable things or something that might come up. That's where you just want to get it out of your head so you don't forget about it, and just put it on paper, and then it's there and you can come back to it later. Okay. So we're going to get into it. We are going to start with reflection. Okay. So this is a part where you want to make a list of anything notable. So we want to get a big picture here to examine, what patterns are serving you and what needs to go. So you can look at your phone, you can look at your calendar, you can, what do you want to remember? Think about the hard stuff, what worked, what didn't. So we're going to really have a bit of a reflection here. I was going to do some music, but just letting you know, I can't do music and have it record. It won't do the recording. So you're just going to have to sing in your own head or just listen in silence. But these are some questions that I'm going to put through into the Zoom chat now. And we can start going through them and we'll go through them. I'm just going to read them out, then I'll put them in. Okay. So the first question we're going to go to is, what am I most proud of in 2023? Okay. You can start joshing these down now. I might just copy and paste it here while we go through it. Here we go. Okay, from the chat. And then the second question is, what got accomplished? Maybe you started your business this year, maybe you had a baby, maybe you changed jobs. Your third question is, when did I feel most aligned? Okay, so for me, when I feel most aligned, it's when I start my days on my own terms. Okay, that's when, and I just feel like everything flows. Okay, what was my biggest challenge? Okay, so remember these are in the chat as well. The fifth out of six question is, what was my biggest lesson learned? And then what didn't I accomplish that is still on my mind, or it's still on your heart? Okay, what is still there that you feel like it's just an unclosed chapter? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and write these down, like go through them. You can look back into the chat and we're just going to go through them now and really just get it all out on paper, like go into it, phones out, don't look at your phone. Yeah, and away we go. We'll probably do this for like 5 minutes, 5 or so minutes. I'm going to try put some music on my phone and see if you can hear that. I just can't play music, and then if I play music, it won't be able to record, like I won't be able to upload it. So just give me a second. Otherwise, we can just hang in silence. So we're going to do this for like another 3 or 4 minutes. So really go through these, like get in detail. Thank you. If you've just joined, actually, I think Alexa and Katie have just joined. I'm just going to copy and paste these back in the chat because you wouldn't miss them. We're going through these questions in the chat. Okay, we'll go for 1 more minute. Okay, we're just gonna move on to the next one. And whatever we're reflecting on, just remember, like, write it down. If there's still things coming out, you can still write it out as we talk. But anything that's happened, like, we can always change it. And so it's really good to reflect, because then you can actually know just like what areas of your life needs more attention or more focus or clarity to, like, grow in other areas. So we're going to move on to alignment. So we've gone through reflecting, which now and then we're going to take everything that we've, like, kind of been looking back on and kind of bring it into alignment where we want to go. So things to consider for this one, let me just get my notes out, is, like, how to see how things are aligning with you or how it isn't. Okay. So, what's currently on your plate. And this one, make like a massive list of anything that comes up that considers that it's taking your time. So things to consider is your job, maybe your side hustle like Arbon, your relationships, community like kids. Do you do things on social media? You can do the cleaning, the washing, your gym, playgrounds, gym gyms, like, and even things like, so I want you just to start unpacking that now, because that won't take too long, but just think about everything. Just like, you could even go from when you woke up today, what did you do? Everything that's on your plate at the moment, just think about what's currently on your plate. Okay, go. Hanging with friends, family, scrolling on social media, Netflix. Right, we're going to go for like another 30 seconds here. Yeah, if you feel like you've got a bit of a list on, too fast for me. I know I'm trying to cram so much into like an hour. There's so much to do. Type some things in the chat if because things that might be popping up for you might be helping others as well, and they might help you. Some things that I know could be affecting people, say if you go to the gym, but the gym's like so much further away than it could be. Like, if there's a gym closer to you, that's time there that could be, eliminated if you wanted to go, save time and travel. All these things on your plate, um, okay, so we're going to move on to the next one. Out of this list, what feels like it is working, like it's working for you? Okay, so then you can either highlight it or you can just jot it down in the next section. What do you feel like out of all this is working for you? Shauna, I spent far too much time thinking about things out of my control. 100%. 100%. It's so easy to do that too. And you get so worried about it. I'm like, well, they can't change anything you do. Like, yeah, it's massive to focus on things we can control. We can't control anyone else's thoughts or opinions or anything. So out of this list, what I feel like is working for me, I can let you know what I wrote. Miracle mornings, they like are amazing for me. They're my own start to my day. I feel like I could switch up my fitness routine. I feel like I'm really being forced to go where I currently go. For only particular reasons, I feel like I could change something like that to like spark my drive to do the exercise again. I feel like I need to plan more date nights with my husband, and I could get a cleaner. I feel like those are people who can really well for me. And then out of that list, when you finish writing what feels like is working for you, go on to look at it, what's not working. Okay. So one thing I figured that's not working for me was like scattering my days everywhere. Trying to fit everything in on different days where I thought we can go through this soon, but yeah, like wasted time traveling places where I could I could block more meetings in on one day and then do more if I'm traveling around other days with kids and friends or other stuff. I can kind of put that into one day, things like that. Okay. So give it another minute there. What's working for you and what isn't working for you? And remember, to have a piece of paper um, if something's coming up as well. Okay, does anyone want to drop in the chat things that they feel like, maybe everyone can write in the chat one thing that's working for them, one thing that isn't. So then other people can kind of bounce off ideas for that. I'll do it with mine as well. Yes, overthinking if I'm good enough, if something isn't working, if something isn't working. Yeah, we are our own worst critic, I reckon. Shauna, my early walk in nature sets up my intention for the day. I love it. Truly working for me, feel healthier for walking daily along with the GGG. Love that. Not having a routine is not working. I need to create a full schedule for work and Arbonne, but also my own mind needs to be at ease. Love that. And that too much driving for children, for parents. Yes. Working for me, Thursdays, love this. Michelle, gym is working for me because I train where I work. Social media content isn't working because I need to plan my content ahead of time to make it easier. Yeah. And this is all like that is so all relevant. And what we were going to do going forward as well, we'll kind of tie this into like mind blank, planning your weeks and making this all fit in and really just like going through those prioritizing those things. So yeah, so now we've gone through our reflection, we've gone through like what we alignment to feel like, what's working, what's not. Hopefully kind of getting a bit of idea, like things that could be cut out a little bit and things that could, have more focus on to really go ahead with what your goals are. So now we need to move through, what is your mission? Okay. So I wrote my mission out and I want to explain, I want to read this. I'm going off. Oh, firstly, before we move on, I want to talk a bit about energy. Okay. So, we want you to be able to identify from the last exercise, your alignment audit, where your energy is going and what's serving you and what isn't. Okay. So if you're taking on too much, your energy is dispersed everywhere, trying to make everyone happy, trying to do everything. And this is where I feel like I have definitely been in this the last probably 3 months of just like everything's been pulling me different ways. And one thing that's really been triggering it is my son, who you just saw him come in. He's a nightmare to put in, but I know it's just an age and phase, whatever, but it still boils me up and it just flows onto everything else. And it just like everything has just got so out of line that nothing was really flowing. Okay. And so this is where we need to identify like what's helping you achieve your main goals and only accepting things that will keep you on track. Okay, so this includes like people you hang out with, and I'm not saying you need to ditch your friends, but it's just really good to be aware of people who actually lift you up, and those who are supportive of, your goals and what you're after, and like kind of in line with the same energy as you, versus some people who, they might be able to pull you away from your goals. And I'm not saying those other people are like bad or like they're not the right people to be around, but just be really aware like who you give your energy to. And I think a really good example is if you walk into a room and say you walk into a room that's high vibe, high energy. If you've ever been to an Arbonne conference, it's just so high vibe. You're just like on cloud nine. You just want to do well. You just want to sing. You want to dance. It's great. But then if you do the opposite and say you walk into a room where there's like, I don't know, I'm just going to call them a Debbie Downer and they're just in the worst mood and they're just like, you just feel like you're just like, oh, like they're draining you. This is what I mean by like energy is everyone is made up of energy and it's really precious. So yeah. And also this doesn't need to be forever either. But if we take Arbonne as an example, is one area we can work on. I'm just saying Arbonne because this is like an Arbonne call, but we can put this into any aspect of our life. You are going to have to make, like, if we're be serious, if you're going to make this a proper business and really build up, you really do actually have to take this business as serious, like a proper business. And you are going to have to make sacrifices to put more time into your business. And this is only short term, but it's to really get it off the ground so you're able to have more time in the long term. And 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 years, however long it's going to be to take you to really get to where you need to be, isn't a long time in the scheme of things. And yeah. So when you're putting your energy into focus, this is what creates momentum. And when we have momentum, and when momentum is here, you just need to ride it and all things start coming into place, okay? And so, oh my God, my cat's up there. Sorry. Sorry. And so, yeah. So when we have our energy, when we're in momentum is really created from like your focus is just on what you want. Like, what are you going to be doing to really concentrate your work and your energy and whatever you're doing into your goal? Because then that energy is like, that is what creates momentum and it's what creates growth and that's what it's going to get your business off the ground. So many of us have been on this call for a little while, and some are newer, but most have been here long enough to be having planted seeds. Even the new girls on here, you've been here long enough to, be talking to people here and there. So these seeds, have you ever heard the analogy, like, if you plant a tree, like the fruit might come like 5, 6, 7, 8 years later, like, and it comes from the seed and you feel like nothing's happening, and all of a sudden, like after a couple months or a couple of years, it starts blossoming and then it comes out of the ground. But the fruit is the last thing to come from the tree, okay? And so right now, any conversations you're having, they are little seeds being planted. Every time you turn up on social media, there's seeds being planted. Every time you you might be in a conversation to other mums that you meet at the playground. This is me all the time. I just chat about me doing an online business and I get the Instagram and that's kind of it. Like that's me planting seeds and now watching what I'm doing. If we now go out and focus in on all these things and, I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice. If we go out and focus on these things that are going to help directly build your business, all these seeds are going to start to notice you showing up more. They're going to start notice you having more energy. They're going to start notice you signing on new business builders. They're going to start like seeing you show up on social media more. They're going to be like, what is that green gut glow she keeps stringing? Like she's glowing, she's energy. And these seeds are then going to start like fruiting. They're going to start flourishing. And these seeds are those people that you've been talking to. And so this is where like momentum is really good to get with building up. And in some way, shape, or form, they're going to come into your business and yeah, everything is just going to fall into place. Okay. So we're now going to go into how this can like, that's where your energy is like so precious. And so when the alignment thing, we're thinking like what's not working, you can alter that. So for example, I just feel like the gym that I'm currently going at, I've been there for 18 months and I love the exercise. I love exercise, but I just feel like I'm being like it's a mission to get there at the moment. I just feel like I need something new. And so that came out last week. I was like, oh, I just feel like I don't enjoy it anymore because it's not fun for me. So I'm going to have to find something new to do. But, and that was taking like my energy. It was felt like it was more hard work than it was worth going. But that's just one little example of my life. So we're going to move into your mission. Okay, so what quality, what is your why and what is your vision? Those are kind of like what's a clear personal mission for you. And yeah, if we don't figure this out, this part here can be quite hard to move on. So I'm going to use mine as an example. My why, I'm going to start with my why. My why for doing this business is because it allows me to be a present mum and I have the choice to do what I want each day and not miss the young years because they go so fast. I do this because of the freedom. I no longer need to ask for time off, juggle clients, or use any sick days for sick kids at daycare. Okay, earnings.arbon.com. I have to say that. My vision is, now moving on to my vision, to help thousands of mums free themselves from the 9 to 5 and create those choices and freedoms that they are all capable of. They just need someone like me to shine a light on them for them to actually recognize their inner potential. Mums are the most hardworking, selfless humans I know. They put everyone else first and often at the expense of their own health. They deserve more, and I have an option for them to create the abundance of health and choices back into their life. Okay. I have had time to think about mine because I did this last week, but I want you to all go off. I'm going to put these 2 questions in the chat. So what is your why and what is your vision? If we can't finish it today, it's okay. Just kind of jot down what comes out. Like I speak really well to mums, but you might not. So don't copy me if it doesn't feel right for you. Let me show that. Okay, we'll go for one more minute. Okay, and when you've done your vision and your why, I want you to then do what, answer the question, what is my ideal 2024? And I'll put these in the chat. So what is your ideal 2024? And what are the top 5 habits that will serve you? Put this in the chat. So once you know your why and your mission, write down what your ideal 2024 will look like and the top 5 habits that will serve you. Excuse me. And then when you think you've done that, write some top 5 habits that you think will serve you. Write them in the chat, because this will help others as well. One of my habits is getting a cleaner. And I want to get a cleaner because that way I can either spend that time with my kids or I can spend that time working my business. And I'm a very clean and tidy person, so that will like make me so happy. Another thing I've written down is honoring my calendar. So I have put certain days where like I put boundaries on, like where I need to work and other times social. So yes, I work at home. But someone asked me to go do something for them the other day, and I said, oh, I actually couldn't. Because I had to like, if I did that, it would have taken like almost 2.5 hours of my day. By the time I got there, did something, came back, and it's like so much time spent away from what I want to be building for next year. So yeah, time blocking, exactly, and that's what we're actually going to move into really soon. Time blocking is gonna, I feel like, I don't know if you've got a trend, but like all this is gonna really come down to being very organized, and very, you know, reliant on your calendar and structure. Okay, so we'll give it a couple more minutes and then one more minute doing this. And this is something we might have to come back to because it is quite big to figure out what your vision is. My idea, Jess, my ideal 2024, being happy within myself, love myself, new job, fun, happy life, not caring what others say or think, and top 5 habits, diet, exercise, planning days, calendar, right, everything, daily beauty routine, yeah. Don't miss the self-care, that's so good to have it in there. Shauna, organize and focus on goals, totally, yes. Okay. So the next part we're going to move on to, if you're not finished that, that's okay. We can come back to us. I'm really trying to cram in a lot. There's not too much to go, but there kind of is as well. So, what is, so example for me. So my top 5 habits, I'll just give you example. I'm going to get a cleaner because that's wasted time where I could be enjoying the kids or working my business. Making sure I'm up early because before the kids so I can have my own time for gratitude and movement. And this always sets me up for a good day and good headspace. And I'll also be going to bed earlier. The last one's honoring my calendar and making sure each week is planned in detail so I can maximize the time I have each week. Okay, so we're going to move on to our next section. And we're going to call these life buckets. So your life buckets are where we can break down different areas of your life. And I really love this part because you can really identify all aspects of your life that you want to improve on and, really start to implement them. We're not going to have time to go through all 8 of them today, but what I'm going to do is read over the areas and you can write them down. And I suggest having 1 page per topic. So at the top of each page, put the topic and then do the same for all 8, okay? Because then you can actually have a good time to brainstorm. So I'm going to read the sections out now. So make sure you have 1 per page so you can brainstorm later. Okay, so the first one is health and wellness. Put that at the top of 1 page. The second one is your home environment. So put that at the top of another page. The third one is romantic relationship or your love. The fourth one is your family and friends. The fifth one is your faith or your spiritual growth. This can be like your, I don't know if you believe in God, it could be like meditation, things like that. The sixth one is financial and business management. And the last one is the pursuit of happiness. I've just typed them in the chat as well in case you've missed any of them. So pursuit of happiness is, things like travel, materialistic things like handbags, whatever. Whatever, like the stuff that brings you joy. Everyone's so different. I'm huge on travel and I'm not very materialistic at all, but at the same time, you just gotta do, people love getting their eyelashes down, whatever it is, okay? So we'll deep dive into one of them, and because we are all here building our Arbonne business together, which we all have mutual common ground, I suggest we do our financial and business management together. So what we can do for this is we're going to have 4 questions, and I'm going to type them in the chat now. But what needs improvement? Number 2, and you can, these are sections in the page, you kind of spread them out with like 4 or 5 lines in between. Second one is, what am I doing well? So what could be doing well right now is you might be turning up on social media every day, or that could also be an area of improvement. Number 3, what could I implement to improve? And number 4, what action steps do I need to implement to make this happen? Okay, so go jot down them all. We'll take a bit like 5 minutes, 6 minutes here to really go through these steps. The questions are in the chat. So what needs improvement? Maybe you're not regular doing your follow-ups or customer service. Maybe if it's financial and business, and maybe what needs improvement, maybe I'm not very good at budgeting. Okay, all these little things, just everyone's going to be different. One thing I wrote, what I could implement to improve with my financial stuff is I put everything on a spreadsheet. And then because Arbonne pays you big, like Arbonne's my only income. So most of it comes in like the lump sum at the start of the month. So what I do is I have a spreadsheet with all my bills, and then I make sure everything that comes out throughout the month is like put aside for. And I make sure like all the bills are on there, so I know what bills I need to, budget for. And like I also have something in there that, nothing's unexpected. So I have room for leeway. So like say I get paid X amount and then my bills are X amount. Let's say I get paid $1,000 and my bills are like $600, whatever. And then I'm gonna still budget maybe $100 in leeway just in case something else comes up. Like I had a stone chip in my windscreen last week, and then I had to go get, it's actually under insurance, that doesn't really count. But do you know what I mean? Like things come up, like things always come up. And then what else did I have in there? One thing I've put financial as well that goes through my head is sometimes, because it can be so easy to want so many things, but in my head I always say, do I need this or do I want this? So if it's like a beautiful dress and you don't have the money, do you need that beautiful dress right now? Or do you just want it because it looks good and it's on sale? Okay, you can do that with anything. And that's just if you like, it's if you do struggle with budget. I'm no financial advisor, just so you know, I cannot put that head on my head. But that does come into like business sense as well. And things like what things that you could be doing well with is maybe you're really good with following up with your team. Maybe you're really good at following up and doing social media. Maybe you're really good at just doing a business ask every day. Yeah, and the last one, what actionable steps do I need to implement to make this happen? So it really depends on what you've written down, but it's going to come down to the calendar, which we're going to. Okay. So does everyone want to pop in something that they think they're doing well in the chat? Type in something you think you're doing well, and give people some other ideas. Shauna, I'm responsive to my team and client follow-up. That's awesome. Yeah, I always see on the BBB group. I like watch that group, but I don't ever jump on. I do the text come through. What else is everyone doing well? Michelle, speaking to people about the products. That's so awesome. You've got a good client base to do that as well. More posts on social media. I think you sent it straight to me though, but that is good. Her say name Defika. Is that her say name? Glenna, showing up even after surgery. Yes, you are. Katie, my social media has become more consistent. Yes, you've done so well this year. Jess, daily stories, I am good at 100%. You're always showing up. And so it's really good to see these strengths. And then you identify what you're doing well, because human nature, we always focus on like things that we're doing wrong, or we just like, it's just human nature to focus on, something went wrong, or what someone said, or maybe I didn't hit my targets this month, whatever. Alexia, showing up to most teams training. Yeah, I reckon team trainings are like non-negotiable in my head. Like I could probably count in like one hand out of 2.5 years that I've never been on training. I think one I was giving birth. Shauna, you could do better at planning my socials. Honestly, Shauna, I'm in the boat. I turn up, but like there's no plan. Like that is something that I've definitely put on 2024 is to have a freaking plan. I just kind of do it. Liz, personal calls to client. I love it. I love that you called in. Okay, we're going to move on to, okay, we're going to do one more. I know this is a lot, but we're going to do your business goals now. Okay, so we're going to do the same questions but for your business. And if this is quite blurred, like maybe you put your business goals just before, that's okay. We'll just spend maybe 2 minutes here. So what needs improvement? The same questions, I'll type them in again. What needs improvement? What am I doing well? What could I implement to improve? So just really deep dive more on the business side if you haven't already done that, because we kind of did business and financial just before. Actionable steps for me is making sure I have like, I call them my DMOs, but my daily method of operation. It's so like old school sounding, but it's literally making sure I've like shown up on my social media every single day, done my personal development, message, 5 PCs, message, 5 consultants, and then you also want to ask or reach out to make 5 new connections. Those are my non-negotiables. We'll go for 1 more minute here. Okay, we're going to move on to the last part. If you haven't finished this, we can go back to it. And plus, there's all those other the family, the relationships, the health and wellness. There's all those ones that I want you guys to go back on anyway at a later date, even straight after this call. So we're going to go on to implementing all of this. Okay, so a morning routine should be, having a morning routine doesn't mean you have to get up super early, but it should be easy. It should be nothing hard to think about. It shouldn't be like you get up and you're doing you're writing out a training for these calls, or it shouldn't be anything that you're doing like your reach outs or anything like that. It should be easy, nothing to think about. It should be a space for a quiet mind to think and starting your days on your own terms, and so like waking up and leaving your phone alone. You might have your alarm clock on your phone, but that's it. Apart from that, don't check messages. Don't wake up to responding to someone else, because then you're on there. You've woken up on their terms and without even giving yourself a chance to start the day how you want it. And then you're already like really blurred if you do that. So a morning routine is really good if you just like put that phone away. It could be like 15 minutes before the kids up. It doesn't have to be huge. 15 minutes before the kids get away, but it's enough to get out of the bed, to do a bit of movement like yoga, stretching, maybe a few squats, like nothing intense. 15 minutes isn't that long, but this also includes, some other stuff which I'll talk about soon. But I also have young kids. So I have a 1.5 and a 2.5 at home as well. So they are busy, and I get what it's like. It can be hard with the young kids as well, but I've learned to make this work no matter what, because I just know when I do these, even for like 10, 15 minutes, just enough to like kind of get up and do my own thing, I'm just so much more productive and driven, clear. I just know what's happening in my day. So this is something where like you can talk to your partner in the house or whoever's in the house and see where they can help you, just so you can make this small but vital time to start your days. Okay. And so things you can do in the morning routine is, read out your why and your vision that you've just written down. You can go back and fine tune that later. Write out some gratitude. Like, I'm grateful for an amazing 2023. I'm grateful for a roof over my head. Like, doesn't have to be huge things, like grateful for my green gut glow every morning. Grateful for a running tap. but it just puts your mind in a state of gratitude that you look for good things. Affirmations, like affirm what's going to happen in your day. I'm having a great day today, whatever. Light movement, yoga, style stretches are really good. And waking up with hydration, like wake up and your body, you've still just done 8 hours, your body still works. Even though you're sleeping, your body is still going. So 8 hours of, if you wake up, your green gut glow is my first thing I have every single morning with a fizz. Oh my gosh, it wakes me up. I feel amazing. Every mama's dream. But yeah, your morning routine shouldn't be anything too hard, or it shouldn't be hard. It should be something where you just like look forward to get up on your own terms and just starting your day in your own head and no one else's. Okay, so we've got 5 minutes. We might go a couple minutes over, but it's got one more thing to go through, is your weekly Sunday audit. And this is where it's all going to come together, and this is where it's all going to be planned and put in, like planning your days and planning your weeks. So this is where you can look at a complete week ahead and plan everything in. Okay, you can include your workouts, you can include time with your kids, Zoom meetings, travel between locations, whatever. You can lock in your work schedule for Arbonne. And this is where you need to be clear at what's going to go support your business and your goals. So if we go back to that alignment part, putting things into your calendar where it's going to be in line with where you want to go with your business and your other goals as well. Okay. And so yeah, so like for example, I said before, someone had asked me to do something for them, which I could, but I just know that it was just going to take so much time out, and they could have done it themselves as well. So I said no, because it was going to take out, I have 2 days without the kids, Monday, Wednesday. Those are the days that they're in daycare. So those are my days that I do, massive follow-ups. I do a bulk majority of like connection with people and follow up with my team on those days. I plan like things like these on those days, like the team training, discover Arbonnes. I do like anything really work related I do, but it's where I'll get, and if I need to fit any last minute appointments, and I'll also do these on these days, but I need to really fit it in around, if it's going to work. But then, for me, I'm just using me for an example to give you an idea. Tuesdays and Fridays, I have both the kids at home, so I tend to do the housework in and around them. And any Arbonne related work is generally done at night times on those days. They're just really hard to work around. Sundays, I also love, these are things that you could plug into your Sunday audit as well, is you could do the grocery shop for the week. So then, that's taken care of. You can also plan your meals for the week. So that could either fit into your health and wellness bucket, is that you know what you're eating for the week. And it's, it's planned out. It's, you don't have to think about it. This is where on a Sunday you can plug in any appointments. Michelle, do you use a specific app? No, I just use Google Calendar. Everything's on my Google. Like I literally have every half an hour. And I don't know if this has come from being self-employed. Before Arbonne, I did as a personal trainer. And I even put like half-hour blocks to like drive to swimming. And then, so yeah, color codes as well. So yeah, and I have color codes. So for example, if anything appointment wise is red, because I know I have to go to it, anything fun is a pink color, because it kind of, for me, pink seems like fun. Anything Arbonne related is yellow. I don't know, these just like, and then you could do, workouts. For me, it's purple. I don't know, those are the colors I've done, so you can figure out as one. And really, and then you can look at a broad picture of your week and be like, cool, I've got 5 purples, which means I'm doing 5 workouts this week. And fitting your times like that. And Glennie, you can link with other Google calendars. Yeah, you can. So you can put, if you want to keep accountable to a teammate, you can do so many things. What's wrong with that? Yeah, so ideas for Sunday as well that you could do, plug in, follow up with any Discover Arbonnes that need following up with. I try to do a coffee date with my husband once a week, because that's our date time with young kids. I block off any nights at work, and I go through with my husband saying, cool, I basically told him I'm working a lot of nights next year. We have big goals for our team, and I need to be just like available. So I said to him, like, Fridays and Saturday nights are generally going to be our time, but the rest of the week I'll be working once the kids go into bed. And he's all good with that because he kind of just like watches TV and falls asleep by like 8 o'clock anyway. So it works out fine. Yeah. And so it's just like being, and also this is a Sunday night audit is where you can, you know, if you do have someone else, a significant other at home, that's where you can really work it in and communicate with them. Communicate's massive. Communicate with them when you're working so you don't take each other by surprise. Okay, so like if someone, yeah, that's what that way you always are going to have to you'll always be on the same page. And like say if he's like, oh, I might come home and want to have like a night with my wife, he's not kind of like left in the loop because you've actually told him that you've got a Zoom call that night or you've got something on, like so you're both on the same page. And like Glenna said before, you can link calendars. So if you do have jobs where they are quite busy, you can put this in. What else is there in there? Content creation you can put in there. I just want to pull up my calendar and see if there's something I've missed. Give me a second. Because I did have this written down. But this, yeah, it's Sunday night and I spend 30 to 45 minutes planning my week. But I don't mind it. So your weekly Sunday audit, here it is. This is what I do. Order groceries, weekly coffee date with Luke. My workouts are planned 5 days a week. My social media content is planned. I've added this in, by the way, because it didn't before. I've got my self-care time. So I want to do a mask once a week and then a hair mask once a week as well. Or maybe that might be my nails or something like that, which I haven't got done. Scheduling appointments like the dentist, maybe you've got the massage, maybe you've got like a doctor's appointment for a child. Do an audit of your business goals for the week. Maybe you're running for your DM bonus this week, or maybe you're running for, I don't know, you want X amount of new customers. How many conversations do you need to have to accrue that many new customers? Schedule time for bits and bobs and errands that need to be done. Schedule time to call and visit family. That's one thing I've added in. I just feel like I haven't done a lot of that as well. Okay, so as we wrap up, I know there has been a lot to go through tonight, and I encourage you to go back and really reflect on what's been serving you, what hasn't, what feels aligned, what hasn't, and make adjustments going forward. So for me, I'm a really planned person. I have a lot of what I want to get done, but with 2 little kids running around, honestly, it can be a nightmare sometimes. So I find myself being pulled in lots of different directions. So doing this exercise here has really just helped me really focus in and being like, okay, I really need to focus in on where my time is spent. I need to be way more planned than I have been, and respect, when I said I'm going to do something, like that is actually respect it and not push it around for other things that will take me off course and then I'm pushing that stuff around again. And then, yeah. And then where am I going with that part? Yeah. And so I'm going to finish it there. But yeah, it basically comes down to being like, you understand your big vision, you understand where you want to be, and then you've broken it down to what's serving you and what's not, and then put more of what's serving you and what's been aligned into your calendar and implement that weekly. Okay, so if there's anything that you guys want to you maybe want to unmute yourself or put it in the chat. I feel like now's a really good time because it is 9 o'clock. If you've got anything to say, just let me know. Unmute yourself. But yeah.
I just want to say that was absolutely incredible and so on point, because we sometimes just rush our way to the end of the year, but we don't stop and do the reflection. And unless we've done the reflection to think about what is going to, what served us, what didn't serve us, how can we move forward into the next year? So thank you so much for taking the time, for including all of us, and just giving us something to think about so that we're much more intentional with whatever we go forward with.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go, Jessica. Great minds think alike.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Emily. That was awesome.
You guys have done so well for showing up. Have an amazing Christmas. And just letting you know, Tina and I are going to meet tomorrow night to plan team trainings going forward. And then there's been another VP chat pop up about really collabing, like getting more of you girls speaking on a New Zealand call as well. So I feel like 2024 is going to be so amazing for everyone.
Incredible.
So there's so much to look forward to. So many opportunities are out there. So if you want to be known to be speaking and you know, building your business more, like reach out to us and we'll make it happen, because it's the best way to grow. It is the best way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you again. Good
All right,
night.
guys. Have a good night. Well done for jumping on.
Bye. Merry Christmas.